Would you like to be part of something bigger? Would you like your voice to be part of the song? Would you like to come together and participate in creation of an art project? When I was invited to think how I can contribute to HURAA project, I asked myself a few questions. What is it that I would like to create? What kind of experience? How I would like to interact with you, the audience, and how I would like to connect with this land, being in the UK, and trying to think what kind of industry, in this case, I would go to. So one of the most probably ancient activities of the humanity, and at the same time one of the oldest industries that is still existent within the UK, is the weaving industry in Laos, and has been through some really troublesome times. But it has actually managed to survive, and it still exists, although the companies that we find around the weavers are just like pearls. When I'm thinking about the song weaving project, I'm visualizing, I'm seeing this long piece of fabric that is being created by you, the audience, myself, the team of artists, and at the same time the weavers coming together to collaborate to create that experience. The way I feel the song weaving is really the meaning that is being woven into the fabric, the meaning that you and I can put into it, the message that you can share with the world. I came across a really beautiful book by Catherine Sullivan Kruger, and she talks a lot about the deep relationship between the text and the textile. And she brings together all these beautiful examples of the gods and goddesses, of the archetypal characters, and the way they are at the same time being guardians of the text and the textile. The spider woman, or at the same time is the thought woman. Athena, the god in the Dogon tribes, who is weaving the world by pulling the threads between the teeth like warp and weft, and at the same time giving the word to the world, singing this song. And then the weaver himself or herself, depending on the tradition, is really the magical person. There is the whole mystical aspect to it. When the weaver sits at the loom, they are weaving their heart into the world, into the fabric. They are putting their intention into the textile. And that intention can protect someone, it can empower somebody, it can heal, it can be a celebration, or it can tell a story. And in many living traditions, it takes the whole community to create the fabric, from getting the yarn produced and getting the dyes, the natural dyes, to making the thread, to making the fabric, to cleaning, and so on. And to my eyes, to my perception, in some cultures, including the one existing within the UK, the fabric in itself is still the bearer of the message, the bearer of the story, and we can identify the stories within some textiles. One of my greatest inspirations for this project is something called visual sound and the culture of visual sound and visual music, which has been developed over specifically last century. And a lot of artists have contributed to this development, especially the early film development with the interrelationships between the sound and the vision. And of course, when you look at something like sonogram, you can notice that sometimes it looks like tapestry. And with the avant-garde movement, where graphic notation becomes something alternative to the traditional notation for musicians to create their performances in a much freer way, to improvise each performance uniquely. And when musicians come together, they look at these beautiful images and they get inspired to then weave their music for the audience. I have looked at some great examples of the contemporary artists who have used sound and music and the principle of translating this into the fabric, into the textiles. And they all have worked with some contemporary technologies to do that. Nadia has used some spectral analysis of classical musical compositions to then weave the pattern, and she's selling these fabrics for interior industry. Project called Glitter have used punch cards, the technology that came before the computers, and the whole computer technology is based on it. And then they created these beautiful fabrics, which apparently can be also played back. Philip in America has created glitch textiles. He basically used glitches from his own computer, and then he created a variety of beautiful patterns, which he now sells as blankets or scarves. So I have looked at all of this and thinking about how I would like to contribute to this development. I asked myself, what is this project? How it would be unique and different? And I found a few answers to this. I would like fabric to have meaning. I would like you as audience to give messages and your vocal signature to be then woven into the design, into the pattern of the textile. I would like all these individual voices to become one song, one musical composition. I would like to create a connected experience for all who participate, and a community voice in this to emerge. I would like to create an experience together where we could all share the memory of this experience and to celebrate that experience. So how can we work together on the song weaving project, and what would we need to do to actually make it happen? The song weaving is envisaged to be a collaboration on many, many different levels. First of all, we would like to collaborate with you, the audience, and to capture your messages to the world and your vocal signatures through computer technology to then put it into the design. We will create the website and the application, and everybody, wherever they are in the world, could log in and give us their message. We then use this data to put into one single design, which will then be transferred into fabric. And at that point, we are collaborating with the designers and the weavers. And at the moment, we are speaking with the company called Dash and Miller up in Bristol, and they are a group of really amazing designers, and they have already said they're very, very happy to be part of that project. They're not here today, but they are going to help us to bring this into existence. And then we will take it to the actual weavers to be able to use computerized machines to actually weave the fabric itself. Once the fabric is created, we then put it up as an installation, and hopefully all of you will be present at the experience where the fabric will then be performed. We will collaborate with a choir or musicians who will then sing the song back. And the fabric will be cut symbolically into pieces. And some of you might want to participate in the next stage where you could collaborate with myself and a couple of designers to actually create art objects and to keep part of that memory of that experience, to have it in your life. And the whole project is also thought as a crowd-funded project, so we would invite you to come and collaborate with us and participate in the actual creation. And you could decide how much you would like to contribute, and that information will be available very soon because we are going to be launching the crowdfunding campaign in November, and this information you will be able to find either if you are on our Facebook or the website, which you can find here. So there are two websites, one of them is mine, another one is HURAA, and the information will be definitely there. So thank you very much. And if you have any questions, please come after everything is finished, and I'll be around